we're definitely in a better position than we were in May. The recovery, you can see the complexities that have developed with this eruption. Whatever it is, the county's always, we work with the other departments in planning. Right now, we're actively working on tsunami plans, ramping up for hurricane season.
That's part of the multi-hazard mitigation plan?
All of that is, yes. But we constantly drill so that we're ready. So, to answer your first question, yeah, if something happens tomorrow, we'll be ready.
It'll be more coordinated than last year.
I think last year was coordinated anyway.
I think the one issue that I had with the federal involvement was that the rotation of individuals every couple of weeks, there wasn't a consistent presence by one person. And so I just felt that kind of added to the frustration of how to respond when you have constant change of individuals from the national level here to support. But that's just my observation. I want to lean in a little bit on a piece that we've heard from the community, and that is the lack of not enough communication coming out from the county throughout the lava eruption. And so I'm sure that's a lesson that you feel that you've learned very well. And so I just wonder what adjustments have been made within your operation to ensure that there is a consistent and accurate and timely flow of information during times of disaster out into the community. And I really want you to think about this and how you respond, because it's so critical in today's day and age where everyone's on social media. And if we don't communicate enough, there are these information gaps. And that's when the rumor mill starts churning. And the county civil defense is a very credible entity. And so I just want to know what your plan is. Is there a PIO or just what is the internal plan to get that information out?
So what's come about through the after action reviews is the communication part. We'd identified a Joint Information Center, which is part of the incident command system, how information is shared to the public. As far as social media, that needs to be bolstered. We've identified some groups that will do the social media tracking for us. And so that's something.
Who are they? Are they within the county, or would they be contracted?
They're contracted.
They're
out.
contracted.
Yes.
Okay. Anything
and
else?
As far as the PIO, we will work with the mayor's office as far as public information.
So the flow of information is you get the information from the field experts, then you work with the mayor's office to coordinate a message. It doesn't just come automatically from civil defense.
Well, their presence they're with us. So, it's when we get it, they get it as well. We craft it and push it out.
We as in civil defense or the mayor's office?
We as, during an incident, we're all together. So, the mayor's staff are in our office, and so through them we're pushing out the information.
Okay, I guess I just want to be clear so that there was so much that happens over the eruption, many lessons learned that can better prepare our communities in times of disaster and recovery. So I just want to make sure that we've learned those lessons and they're formalized in documents so that we're not starting from scratch and scrambling in the future.
So I'm going to lean in a little bit more, and Ms. Kirkowitz touched upon it, which was the communication piece over this last event, or last two events. And I'm like her, there's just so many venues to distribute information. And I just want to understand better, because you mentioned it was kind of a coordinated effort with releasing information, utilizing public information officer from the mayor's office. But I see in your budget you actually have one, but that position is vacant. And so I want to understand better why the department is not trying to stand up or fill that position, or talk to me about that. Because the communication needs improvement. So help me with that, Talmadge, please.
Some background is that just as the event kicked off, the person that was in that position transferred out. So we filled that void, bringing in, alongside with the PIOs that were in the county and in the mayor's office supporting us. We brought in PIOs from other departments statewide. And so, they supported us by putting information out. This decision was made, looking at the recovery portion of it, that we needed to emphasize more on that. So that position, that PIO/recovery specialist, will be rewritten as a recovery specialist and transition into that. And going with the idea that the PIO out of the mayor's office will support us.
Okay. I'm just going to put it out there. I have some general concerns with that because we rely on the information that is coming out of civil defense because of all of the capabilities and technology that you guys get when these types of events happen. And so to pluck someone out of the mayor's office during this time, and I hear what you're saying, everybody kind of converges in, but in an earthquake, they're running their own lives, whereas you guys have a network and a team, and I would rather see it there.
So let me interject. So everybody that is responsible to come to the EOC, it's stressed upon them that you got to take care of your life in a way that you can respond. So, like I was mentioning earlier, the sudden onset, we build for that. So, if whatever your family makeup is, you got to make sure that they're prepared, that you can leave at a moment's notice. And that's, like I said, that's what we build for.
So is that job description written into all the PIOs across DPW or mayor's office, that is the understanding that if they take that position, whether it's in the mayor's office or parks department, that is the expectation?
I don't know.
So maybe you guys need to put your heads together a little bit and manage that expectation. Good information helps us make good decisions, and in times of emergency, that's what the larger public needs.
We need to have a better form of communication. So on one hand, I'm saying we need to get the cert stuff. On another hand, I'm saying we got to get this communication out. But I'm asking you, Talmadge, do you need us to mandate this so we can get this message system and communication center up and running? Because what we're doing now is not working, and the constituency are not happy. So I'm asking, and this is when we have to have these conversations.
That's actually, it doesn't have to be mandated. It's part of, what we're supposed to be doing. So, if it's not adequate, we just need to ramp it up. We are just starting the process to contract with our mass messaging vendor, and so we're looking to get a little bit better product, I guess, for that. A little bit easier to use, but more, more capability. So that'll enhance mass messaging as well. Still focusing on email, text, Twitter, Facebook, and the audio message. So, that's one aspect that we're looking at, enhancing our communication.
Your position of the information, I forget what the official name was, Public Information and Disaster Recovery Specialist. Is that, was that person, did they leave the position just as all this was rolling, or when did that person leave that position?
Yeah, so it's just, nature of things, timing, and that's exactly what happened. She had another position offered, and she moved on. I was fortunate to keep her for several weeks afterwards, so that that was a big help. But then we kind of rolled through the rest of the event, without that position filled. But I look at that position, especially in that example, PIO/recovery specialist. Those are two jobs in itself.
Very different, yes.
So they got to be separated out. And we've chose that the recovery specialist, because of the skill set, the uniqueness of the information that person would, or that position would hold, that would be more beneficial to the county, because we have enough disasters, that continuity of information, that knowledge base needs to be kept in the county. During this event, fortunately the mayor has had a lot of experience in this, so he guided us along, but beyond him, nobody has been through this before, and so everybody was just learning as we went through this with FEMA on the ground and HIEMA on the ground helping us out.
And what I always say, it looks good on paper when you're making your plan, public info and disaster recovery. But what I'm hearing is, since we plan, or we keep having disasters to recover from almost every other month, at least since we've been in office, I'm hearing that having the information, communication, someone detailed to that, or a position detailed specifically to that, is needed if we want the communication coming out, which means that we as a council may need to do something to help create this position, whether it's a legislative motion or something like that. And I'm pressing you, Talmadge, on this because, again, we've talked about the communication. We have to increase and ramp up our communication because our constituency is asking for it. And rightly so in this day and age. We have so many different forms, almost too many different types of communication. I think we're going to have a further conversation on this, and it's not. I'm not directing it directly at civil defense, because this is actually civil defense, fire, police, and really the county as a whole. So we're going to have to look at that. Even public works, when we need to communicate, we need to communicate better. So what I'm going to ask is, please give this some thought. I'm going to circle back and ask you about it to create, and I don't want to back burner this, because even the Waikoloa Village and the fire, we did good, except we didn't communicate to the people. And half the people thought they needed to evacuate, half the people didn't know if they were supposed to. And that's a shortcoming on the county as a whole. So we have to talk about this communication. So I'd like you to put forth some thought, and then let's talk story, and we will talk to the other departments that I think need to participate, because I think that was a great meeting we had last, whenever that was, summer, late fall, concerning the fire, and sort of the debriefing, loud and clear, more communication to the communities.